covered in snow right now.
Good morning, everyone. So today is a day of chores. Pretty normal on homesteads. But today's a little different because I have to run into town and get some supplies. You can see here's our water storage and we are super low. That's because I was, fixing the water stand and everything, so I purposely waited till we were low on water. But we also need drinking water and we need propane. So the weather's starting to warm up, but actually last night it was pretty cold. We ran the heater all night long. And here's all our propane tanks, IBC tote, and then here's Luna. Hi, Luna. Good girl. She's gonna go with me. And I have all of our jugs of water for drinking water. So we're gonna do that. Sorry, I need to put my quarters and dollars away. So we're gonna go do all that, get that stuff. But before I could do anything, I have a slow leak in this tire, which sucks. I've already put the slime, the green slime, tire repair slime inside there, but it still loses air. So I need to put some air in that before I could do anything. I hope that's the only one. And I've been noticing actually this tire right here on the Bronco has been going low too. It looks a little spongy right now. So that's the first order of business, is put air in the tires, because I can't go anywhere if I got flat tires. So let's do that. I've had this portable small portable air compressor for a number of years. I used to do a lot of like overlanding and camping, off-roading, stuff like that in a Bronco, and I've had this little air compressor for a long time, and it's a pretty good tire, or a good air compressor. It can fill up like a 35-inch tire to full pressure, which standard little baby air compressors, they can't fill big tires like that. Well, at least not to proper PSI. They just struggle. But this one's it's done really well. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Okay, let's go put a little bit of air inside the Bronco tire. Okay, here we are. And now I didn't buy this Bronco to do what I'm doing with it, like hauling water. Oh, hey Luna. I bought this Bronco to just be like a weekend fun, vehicle. Again, just just for camping, light off-roading, you know, just hitting trails and just exploring nature. But she's put in work, you know. The Bronco hauled all of our stuff out here. This trailer hauled all our stuff out here back in 2024. We slowly started moving all of our belongings and tools and just everything out here, and it did all right. And the transmission tends to overheat. That's about the only issue I have going on with the Bronco right now. Okay, enough air. Everything's got air in it. We're good. This is my little pump. Works really good. Again, I've had it for several years. Look how old the bag is. You know, this is the baggie it comes with. Like even the handle broke. You know, the buckles starting to fade. I've had this thing for a long time, and it still works really, really well. Okay, I'm gonna keep getting ready. Made it back. Bunch of water, propane, got all the things we need. Now I'm gonna get ready to start transferring it to our holding tanks, which are those two right there. I eventually want to put this one on top and stack 4 of them, but not quite there yet. Future plans. So I'm gonna get kind of set up, and then I'll kind of explain my little process. Baby girl, Autumn. All right, so I'm all set up. A little hard to hear, but I just got, you know, our gas-powered transfer pump hooked up. I got it set on top because I've got to just suck the water from the top. I eventually want to get some parts so I can just come out of the valve down here. It'll be a lot easier. And then I use this green hose only for our fresh, clean water, and it just fills up the tanks. Now, we did have covers on our IBC totes, but they lasted about 1 year, not even a full year. And just the wind out here, the wind is so crazy, it just destroyed both of them. And you do want to cover on the tanks, because then they'll start to get algae. Now I know that you can buy black tanks, or you could paint them. I've seen people paint them and the paint just fades and it doesn't work that well and it looks kind of ugly. I would buy the black ones, but they're way more expensive. I mean, you could pick these up used, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 bucks, just kind of depends. So we're gonna end up getting more covers. I already ordered them, so we're just waiting for them to come in and just put covers on them. Also, they're both connected, so both valves are open and they just kind of equalize. They just both kind of fill up. Even though I'm just pouring the water into this one, they fill up equally, which is kind of nice. So yeah, this is my water chore, I guess, going to get water. So yeah, I'm just gonna let this finish emptying and then on to the next chore. All right, so we're back at the trailer and I'm about to just unload all of our propane tanks and our drinking water. So nothing too crazy. Luna, what's up? Where were you? Huh? Hi. So while I was, doing chores and stuff, Ashley told me that our cabinet right here fell down. So it was hanging just like that right here, but apparently it fell down. So I need to fix this. And all I had were these screws holding this piece of wood up right there. So they obviously ripped out. So I need to use a heavier duty screw or find a nut and bolt, something stronger than this. So that's what I'm about to do. Didn't expect to do this, but it's all good. That's just how it goes. Sometimes stuff just pops up and we gotta fix it. So I'm gonna head over to the container and see what I can do to fix this and remount it. So let's go. So for those of you that haven't seen my little container shop, that's kind of dirty. I just got tools and stuff everywhere, chainsaws, saws, I got the Farm Mac down there, Husqvarna right there, got my table saw, air compressor, MIG welder, TIG welder. This is my drill press. I got a bandsaw right here. I got some, what is this? All season 2-in-1. This is just windshield washer fluid. I got all kinds of stuff in here. I'm a welder fabricator by trade, so I've accumulated a lot of tools over the years. At one point I even had a small fabrication business back in Long Beach, so I had a full shop. Nothing crazy, not a massive shop or anything, and it was just me. I didn't have any employees or anything like that, but it was a full-on warehouse. It's okay. I'm gonna figure this out for a second and I'll show you what I come up with. Okay, so I feel like I've got maybe, let me fix this real fast. There we go. So I feel like I got like two options. I can run a bolt, just a standard bolt Or I can run this stainless steel lag screw. So this is designed for wood. This is, you know, can use it for wood. It doesn't drive into wood the same this would. But if I just drill a hole, slide it through, put a nut on the other end, crank it down, just, you know, standard nut and bolt, this would be strong. A little bit harder because, you know, I got to be able to put something on this end and then go to the other side of the wall and then tighten down a nut. Where this one I can most likely just drive in. I don't know. I think I'm gonna try this first. And there's not a lot of weight in that cabinet. I use that to hold all our laundry detergent. Pretty much is what's in there. You know, because it's next to the washing machine. So I think I'll go with these for now. And I got a good amount of them. So I'll just open this hole a little bit more and just drive this thing inside. So I got them all started, you know, 1, 2, 3. Now let's just go back into the cabin. See if it'll drive in and be secure. Let's go. So if any of you guys are new subscribers and haven't been following along from last year and all the projects and things we got done last year, leave us a comment. Let us know how long you've been following, where you're from, things like that. If you got a question about something, you know, out here, maybe our power system, solar or something, how we do laundry, like, you know, here's our laundry stuff. I don't know. Shoot me a question, you know, comment down below. I do my best to respond to everybody's comments. Okay, let's see if this thing will drive up in here. Let me see. Adjust the camera here. Oh, so you guys can see what's going on. So I'm just going to drive this back into the existing holes. It should be okay because it's already has this hole started there. Didn't want to happen. Darn it. So the thing I didn't want to happen happened, which my part cracked. And I think it's probably because there's I forgot what these are called, but it's like a little, this is where like a branch was. But yeah, it's usually like hard, and it wood always splits right here. I should have opened that up. I predicted that was going to happen, and it happened. But I think it's, you know, it's pretty strong. I think it'll be okay. So the way I did this, I know there's a term for this style of mounting, but you could see how the wood, I've created like a slot right here, and so I just basically have the other side of it right here. So it basically just hooks on the back of it right there, and then these just act as a spacer so that the cabinet's not like, the bottom of it's not floating in, it'll sit flush. That's how I have this big one mounted. Kind of see inside there. It looks like just a one block of wood, but it's two. Damn, this one's looking kind of weak too. I might have to beef that one up as well, but not today. Okay, I'm gonna empty this thing out too because I don't want to throw my back out, but we'll take a peek at what's inside here. All right, back to normal. Boom. Very simple way to mount something, as long as there's not, you know, crazy amount of weight. I don't know why it fell before, but we're all good now. I'll just put all the stuff back. Oh man. Okay. This is all going up here. I think I put the shelf on the wrong side now. Yep, definitely did. Voila! Back to normal. And these cabinets, they were left behind by the previous owner. I've tried to repurpose as much stuff as possible. Actually, I would say almost all the projects I did last year were from recycled material, just stuff left behind. And you know, sometimes it's not the prettiest way to make stuff, but it's definitely the most resourceful way. Instead of just throwing it away and getting rid of it all, buying all fresh new stuff, just like use what you got for now, you know. So that's what I did. All right, that kind of wraps it up for a day of chores. These aren't even all the chores, these are just what I did today, you know. And I don't even know what time it is. Let's see, it's 3:30. I think I left the property around 10 o'clock this morning or so, something like that. But it's all good. We've got plenty of water now. If you haven't seen any of our water videos, I've set this thing up so that we have like constant water pressure inside the camper. So underneath I have just a simple sediment filter, you know, nothing crazy. There's our pump that works off of a flow switch and just constant 12-volt power, and then a small accumulator tank just to drive some extra pressure so the pump isn't working so hard. And then it just goes straight to the cabin, and then this is just my, you know, simple on-off switch for the pump. And then that way, you know, we have constant water pressure, constant water in the trailer. Lately, these last few months, because we're, you know, still in winter, we're exiting winter, everything freezes out here. So I have to come out here and drain the line and drain the pumps and everything underneath so nothing freezes over. And so what I end up doing is just filling up the freshwater tank in the trailer. So at nighttime or early in the morning when we need water, the trailer has its own holding tank, its own water pump, water heater, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of why we decided to go with the camper trailer opposed to fixing and rehabbing the cabin. You know, after coming here, driving back and forth, when we first purchased the property back in 2024, you know, we debated a lot. We're like, man, should we fix the cabin or whatever? So when we bought it, little backstory, when we bought it, it was halfway built. Okay, as you can see, the thing's still on studs. You know, I put up these few sheets of sheathing just in the corners to help stabilize the cabin, because on crazy windy days when you're inside, you could feel the whole cabin just rocking back and forth. So cabin is halfway built. No plumbing, no electrical, nothing. Okay. The previous owner pretty much did foundation work, threw it up with studs and some very light siding. It's just plywood cut down, and they did like a shiplap style thing. So yeah, the cabin was not complete, and then it sat here for, man, I don't know, I think almost 2 years before we ended up purchasing it. So with all this exposed beams and stuff to nature and everything, a lot of the beams started warping and pulling, and it's just, there's, long story short, a lot of work, a lot of money would need to go into the cabin to get it livable. We would have to build a bathroom, build a kitchen, insulate everything, run plumbing, run electrical. We would have to do a significant amount of work. And then the cabin's only about 800, 900 square feet, somewhere in there. So it's not real big. So after you carve out a bedroom, carve out a bathroom, there's not much living space. It's just not very big. So we decided to not fully rehab the cabin and just purchase a used camper trailer, because that gives us all the amenities we need, you know, about bathroom, kitchen, bedroom. It's somewhat insulated, you know. So yeah, so we chose to do that, and hopefully in the future we can build a larger house, cabin, whatever, on the property, and possibly just turn this cabin, I don't know, a spare bedroom. I'm not honestly thinking of turning it into just a big place to store all our food. You know, eventually in the future, we'll have a thriving garden and livestock and all those things. This could all just be space and area to, you know, clean and process all our vegetables and, you know, slaughter animals, chickens and rabbits, whatever. You know, this could just be something like that, like our own little mini, like, grocery store kind of. But who knows, we're starting actually our second year living off-grid. So we still have a lot of building to do, a lot of things to do. So join along, you know, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Again, leave us a comment, hit the thumbs up, let us know your thoughts. This is just another random video. We're gonna be doing more videos like this, but follow us along, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.